If you've been hearing AI terms like GPT or multimodal or AI agents and you're thinking, I keep seeing these everywhere, but I'm not totally sure what they actually mean, well, you're not alone. A lot of smart people feel the same way, and it's easy to feel like everyone else gets it except you. So in this video, I'm going to explain the most common AI terms you'll run into in plain English so they actually make sense. No jargon, no tech lecture, and definitely no judgment. Just quick, clear explanations that help everything click. All right, let's jump in. Let's start with a few of the AI terms you've probably seen the most. First, GPT. This stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, which sounds complicated, but the idea is pretty simple. It's the type of AI behind ChatGPT. Basically, the brain that reads your request, interprets what you're asking, and generates a response. Another term you might have run across is custom GPT. These are unique just to ChatGPT. A custom GPT is like building your own specialized assistant within ChatGPT. You give it examples, instructions, and rules, and it becomes much better at doing that one specific task for you compared to the general version of ChatGPT. Think of it like having a mini assistant that is trained to do a very specific task. Next is multimodal. This means the AI can work with different types of input like text or images you upload and audio you speak out loud. For example, you can upload a photo and ask ChatGPT to describe it, or you can talk to ChatGPT using your voice instead of typing. And just to be clear, as of today, you cannot upload video files or MP3 audio files and have ChatGPT analyze them. So when we say audio input, we're talking about speaking to ChatGPT in real time, not attaching audio or video files for it to process. And finally, AI agents. Think of an AI agent as an assistant that doesn't just answer a question, it can take multiple steps to complete a task. Think of it like multitasking. For example, an AI agent could research a topic, gather information from several sources, organize it, summarize it, and then turn that summary into an email or short report for you. AI agents are becoming more common. You're going to start seeing them built into more and more tools in the weeks and months ahead. Now, before we go any further, let's pull back for a second and let me give you a quick foundation so the rest of this video makes even more sense. Let's start with the obvious one, artificial intelligence. We hear this term every day and most people assume they know what it means. But if you ask someone to actually explain what AI is and how it's different from regular software, most people struggle to put it into words. Well, AI is basically software that can understand, reason, or generate things in a way that feels similar to how a human would. Traditional software follows fixed rules. If you click this, it does that. AI can look at patterns or make decisions and produce responses it was never explicitly programmed with. That's why it feels so much more flexible and conversational. So how does AI compare to machine learning? Is machine learning just a synonym for AI, or is it actually something different? Well, machine learning is how AI gets those abilities. Instead of being hand-coded line by line, AI learns from examples, millions or even billions of them. It looks for patterns in that data and uses those patterns to make predictions or generate content. That's how it can write, summarize, translate, or answer questions so naturally. And that brings us to the term LLM, which stands for Large Language Model. This is just the technical name for the kind of AI that reads text, understands what you're asking, and generates a coherent response. And an LLM is trained specifically on text, mountains of it, so it becomes really good at understanding language and generating language back. All right, with that quick foundation in place, let's jump back into the terms you run into all the time when using AI tools. A chatbot or AI assistant is the general name for what you're talking to when you use something like ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini. You ask a question, you get a response, and you're basically having a text-based conversation with AI. And we're also now starting to see AI chatbots showing up on websites. And these are not those old, annoying scripted chat boxes on your grandpa's website that could only give you 6 canned replies and never had the answer you actually needed. Modern AI chatbots can be trained on your business, your services, your FAQs, your tone, so they can answer questions, help customers, or even act as a sales assistant on your site in real time. A prompt is simply your request to the AI, what you say or type to tell it what you want. It could be a question, an instruction, a description, or even a quick idea you want the AI to expand on. If you've ever typed something into ChatGPT or asked a question out loud, that was your prompt. Now, prompt engineering is simply the skill of giving the AI a clearer direction so you get a better output. You're still just prompting the AI, but with a little more intention. Sometimes that means adding a bit more detail or giving an example or telling the AI how you want the answer formatted. Now let's cover a few AI capabilities you've probably run across. Voice mode is exactly what it sounds like. Instead of typing into a prompt box, you talk to the AI out loud and it talks back to you in real time. It feels more like a regular conversation and it works great when you're thinking out loud or you just don't feel like typing. And if you're using ChatGPT, it's the little icon inside the prompt box. When you tap it, ChatGPT switches into a different screen and you're suddenly talking back and forth with the AI, almost like you're on a call with it. It's pretty wild the first time you try it. Voice cloning is another term you may have seen. This is when AI analyzes a recording of someone's voice and then generates new speech that sounds like that person. Tools like 11 Labs are extremely good at this, and you don't have to clone a real person's voice. Most platforms offer a library of pre-made voices that sound incredibly realistic. A lot of creators use these voices for narration, tutorials, or voiceovers without recording a single line themselves. Image generation is when you describe something in words and the AI creates an image based on your description. The big advantage here is you no longer have to dig through hundreds of stock photos trying to find an image you want. Instead, you can just create it. Tools like Midjourney or Canva's Dreamlab and even ChatGPT itself can generate incredibly detailed images based on your prompt. Next is text to video. This is exactly what it sounds like. You type a description and the AI generates a short video based upon what you wrote. Now, text to video is still early in development, but it's advancing fast. Tools like Runway or Google's Veo or even OpenAI's Sora have been showing some surprisingly realistic results. You're going to be hearing a lot more about text to video in the months ahead. All right, now let's pull back the curtain for a minute and talk about a few background terms you might bump into when using AI tools. They sound technical, but they're actually pretty simple once you know what they mean. First, API, which stands for Application Programming Interface. An API is just a fancy way of saying two pieces of software can talk to each other. That's it. If you've ever clicked something like Connect with Stripe or Connect with Google or Connect with Zapier, that's an API at work. Think of an API as the bridge that lets one tool send information to another. Next is guardrails, sometimes called safety. These are the limits the AI operates within so it doesn't do anything harmful or misleading or inappropriate. It simply means the AI has boundaries. Here's a quick example. When I train an AI chatbot for a business website, I always set guardrails for things like profanity or inappropriate questions or topics the bot should not respond to. And finally, the word model. You've probably seen this everywhere. A model is basically the version of the AI you're using. GPT-4, GPT 5.1, Claude 3.5, Sonnet, Gemini 1.5. All of these are models. It's the underlying AI engine that generates the responses you're getting. Newer models are usually faster, smarter, and more capable than older ones. Now let's talk about the companies behind many of the AI tools you see online, so you can quickly connect the name of the company with the AI tool they're known for. OpenAI is the company behind ChatGPT. When you hear about GPT models like GPT-4 or GPT 5.1, that's OpenAI. Anthropic is the company behind Claude. If you hear names like Claude Sonnet or Claude Opus, those are just different versions of Anthropic's models. Google is behind Gemini, which used to be called Bard. You've probably already seen Gemini showing up inside Google products like Gmail or Docs or Search or Android. They're weaving it into everything. xAI is Elon Musk's AI company, and their model is called Grok. Grok is the AI assistant built directly into X, formerly Twitter. Perplexity acts more like an AI-powered search engine. If you've ever wished Google would just give you clearer answers instead of a long list of links, that's the niche Perplexity is trying to fill. Now, there are others out there, but these are the 5 names you'll run into most right now. Now that you know the core AI terms everyone keeps throwing around, the whole topic starts to feel a lot less mysterious. You can talk about AI without feeling intimidated, and the conversations you hear online or in real life are going to make a lot more sense from here on out. And if you found this video helpful, I have another video that dives deeper into AI in a really practical way, and you can watch that video right here.